Namaskar and a very warm welcome to all the viewers and learners who are watching us live in today's Gyan Darshan or teleconferencing session. I am Dr. Geetika S. Johry, Faculty at School of Vocational Education and Training and Program Coordinator for the Diploma in BPO Finance and Accounting Program. Learners, our today's topic of discussion is Unit 7 under the first course, that is BPOI 101, which is Introduction to BPO Finance and Accounting. So before beginning to discuss the Unit 7 of this particular course, let us have a brief overview of what are the objectives of this particular course and the unitization. So learners, basically talking about the objectives of the first course, which is Introduction to BPO Finance and Accounting. This course will introduce you to the BPO world. It will introduce you to the structure of the BPO, what are the different processes which are followed in the BPO industry. At the same time, it will familiarize the learners with the different forms of BPO industry, and this course will also deal with the different aspects of finance and the concepts of accounting, which are play a very major role in the BPO industry. Now, moving on to the unitization, we can see that this entire course, which is Introduction to BPO Finance and Accounting, has been divided into 7 units. Let us have a look at the unit. Unit 1 is Overview of BPO Industry. Unit 2 is Organization of the Industry. Unit 3 is Overview of Indian BPO Industry. Unit 4 is Overview of Finance and Accounting Outsourcing. Unit 5 is Career Prospects in BPOs. Unit 6 is Getting Ready for a Career in Finance and Accounting BPO. And Unit 7 is Information Technology and its application in F&A process. So till now, learners, we have already covered the first 6 units in our previous sessions, and today's our focus will be on the last unit, which is Unit 7, which is Information Technology and Application in F&A process. So let's begin with this particular unit. Now, what are you going to learn in this particular unit? Here, learners, basically you are going to be learning about what are the key advances in the IT and technology sectors that have made today's BPO industry possible, because we know that for BPO to be running, you really require a telecom sector and IT sector. So here we need to understand why IT is very important as far as BPO industry is concerned. Then we will be also discussing about the various kind of technologies and their applications which are used in the BPO industry. We will also explain the role of the different software applications which are used in the finance and accounting BPO. Also, we will be learning about what are the objectives of the various types of IT applications, and last but not the least, we will be explaining the implications of the extensive use of IT on the employee work culture as far as the BPO industry is concerned. So, learners, we all know what is information technology, which is abbreviated as IT. This is an enabler that has made the modern BPO industry possible. If we talk about India, the BPO industry is alternatively referred to as the IT-enabled services industry. Now, when we think of IT, there are many things which come to our mind, like we can think about the PCs, we think about the laptops on which the people work, or the servers that store and process the information data of the clients and organizations. However, learners, there are many aspects of the IT sector which are not so visible, but they are very crucial and critical to the BPO industry. For example, let us see that a key necessity, as I just mentioned, in the BPO industry to function is the telecom connectivity that makes it possible for people sitting on one side of the world to connect to servers on the other side of the globe. So, in this unit, we shall discuss the different types of technologies and their impact on BPO industry, what are the benefits of implementing the IT in finance and accounting operations, enterprise resource planning, which is ERP, and related issues of information security. Now, let us move on to the topic on enabling technologies and their impact. What do we mean by enabling technologies? We refer them to as a set of technologies or business trends that have made this industry possible. Now, What are some of these? Let us list out how they have impacted the industry. Increase in computerization in businesses. We have seen that because of the IT sector, there has been increased computerization in the business world. Everything has been computerized. Everything has been digitalized. Then documentation management system and workforce operation, that has also has impacted. This is one of the reasons which has been very useful as far as using IT is concerned. Then we all know about web technologies. Then globalization of corporations and telecommuting. This is another way it has impacted the industry. Then because of the IT sector, there is cheaper telecom cost, which is combined with new voice technologies. There is improvement in the computer hardware, because we see that as the technology is advancing, as it is changing very fast, and when we come across certain hindrance, we need to improvise on those hindrances, or we need to overcome all those problems. So we can see that one of the reasons which has impacted is that it will improve the computer and its hardware, how it can be improvised. Though we can say, learners, the above list is not exhaustive, but definitely it highlights the prominent trends and the technologies that have influenced the emergence of the BPO industry. Now let us talk about what are the types of technologies. Now, the heart of any business enterprise is the financial and accounting related data. We know that every company, every organization has a department which is called as the finance and accounting department. This is basically called as the heart of every company, because all your any success or any failure of the company all depends on the finances and the accounting data of your particular company. So talking about historically, what used to happen in the historic times, accounting data used to be recorded in the accounts books, or which we used to call them as the books of accounts. But in today's modern office environment, or in today's age, companies are using core accounting software to record and manage the data. So we can see, moving on, there has been a transformation from manually to digitally. Earlier we used to write all the records manually, and now we are doing it all through different accounting softwares. Now we need to understand what is accounting software. So accounting software is used to store accounting related records and handle transactions based on the organization's defined processes. There are a range of options which are available to the companies which would like to put in place of accounting software. As a result, each organization selects an option from a range of different packages based on their unique needs and budgets. See, all organizations, all industries, they have a different set of requirement as far as the accounting software is concerned. Some might be using the accounting software for HR purpose. Some might be using for the finance and accounting purpose. So their needs differ according to their requirements or their prioritization. So we can see that each organization has a different accounting software which they need to, get it tailor-made. And how they can do it, they can, get it done through a vendor, who are actually making the accounting software. We will learn this in the next slide. We can see that this application, it may be an off-the-shelf software, or it can be custom-made software which is designed to meet the specific needs of the organization. So when we talk about when they're designed to meet the specific needs of the organization, so the people who are actually the brainchild, who know what is required in that accounting software, they can, design it and they can maintain it at in their own organization. Every organization also has a computer department which handles all these kind of things. So when we are thinking of customizing it, then definitely the people who are working on the hardware, on the accounting software, they can include or they can incorporate all those packages which they want according to their choice. And so this can be taken care by the department or created by using external IT vendors. Now, accounting software, learners, we are just discussing, it consists of different modules. Now, these are different modules which will support the activities which are associated with the particular business process. Now, what are the commonly found modules when we are talking about accounting software? They are and particularly when we talk about finance and accounting, then the commonly found modules are your general ledgers, they are your accounts payable, there is accounts receivable, there is inventory, etc. So these kind of modules, accounting software modules, you will be finding in every organization. Each and every organization, whether we talk about a small organization or medium-sized organization or a large organization, they will be using these kind of modules. They are in practice, in routine practice. But in addition to that, there are certain advanced modules which may be added based on the nature and the needs of the businesses. Then what are these kind of advanced modules? These would include fixed asset, time and billing, travel expenses, payroll, etc. So as we just mentioned, that the accounting software are tailor-made as per the requirements of any industry or organization. If they want to work with the routine or the normal kind of modules, which are general ledger or your accounts receivable or accounts payable, they can go ahead with that. But there are certain organizations which are large, they require more kind of such modules so that they can be integrated into one software and it will be easy for them to seamlessly work on them. So then, you have to work on such kind of softwares. Now, let us have a look at some of the important features, which is required for a good accounting software. First of all, the accounting software has to be user-friendly. It is not that you have made a very complex accounting software which is very difficult to use. Make it user-friendly so that each and every person is able to use it. Then another feature is it should be able to record all the financial transactions. It's not that it is able to only, record few transactions and the other transactions they are not able to record. So have an accounting software which can, incorporate all these kind of transactions which you really want to be done digitally. Then it should be automatic. The update should be automatic in that. It's not that somebody is coming manually and doing it. So it should be an automated update and it should be scalability. Then accounting software should be such that it should be able to, identify and prevent the errors. Because when you're working with so many transactions, there are so many modules, definitely there is a chance of committing an error. So, because such errors may not be committed, it is very essential that the kind of accounting software which is developed, it should be able to identify and prevent those errors so that, you can rectify the action there and then. Then it should be able to do the billing and invoicing of the payment processing. Then analysis and report is another feature which is required in a good accounting software. Accounts payable is one more feature of a good accounting software. Then mobile usage, security. These are some of the features which a good accounting software should have. Now, till now, learners, we have been talking about accounting software having modules, which are, used in day-to-day routine. And for smaller organizations. But when we think about large organizations, large, big companies, which have more advanced needs, then a system like the ERP system would be more efficiently used, and it could be included in the module which supports the finance and accounting related processes. Now for that we need to learn about what are management tools. Now till now we talked about accounting software. Now we need to talk about what are management tools. Now management tools, learners, they again play a very vital role in the back office process. These tools ensure that the overall health of the process by ensuring that key process parameters like customer complaints, escalations, downtime, service requests are managed and tracked to resolutions. Here we have given you a very simple example that a person who is, who would be at a help desk application, they will be able to track the customer's request, issues, and they can assign them to employees in the process. So it is very essential that whatever module you are using, you are able to see that module, you are able to see that kind of a tool, and you are able to assign that kind of any kind of transaction to the right person at the right time. Now learners, let us discuss about what is ERP, also known as Enterprise Resource Planning. Till now we have been discussing about how small companies or medium-sized companies or even large companies can be benefited by using accounting software, which can be a routine accounting software or which can be having some advanced modules. But when we talk about large corporations like those who are in global Fortune 500, they face a different set of challenges altogether. Now, large corporations, when we mean, and particularly when we talk about the BPO sector, their operations are very complex due to the number of countries in which they operate. So each of the countries, they may be, offering different products or services. The kind of services or products which BPO organizations, offer, there are different at different places, at different countries. And so to manage such kind of, transactions, we require to have a robust system which we call as ERP. Now, business and accounting processes may be different due to variances in the compliance and regulatory requirements of different countries. So when we talk about a BPO organization or any Fortune 500 companies, since they are working across the globe, their requirements are different, their needs are different, they require modules, which can, be useful to them. And because they are working with different companies, different organizations which are located in different destinations, their compliance, their regulatory framework is also different. So to encompass all these things, it becomes very essential for larger companies to go in for a system like enterprise resource planning. Now, to enable to support these diverse requirements, it will not be possible with a simple accounting software. So then there becomes a need for a more robust application, and ERP is the preferred solution for larger corporations. Now, we can see that ERP, when we go through this slide, we can see that ERP works in different domains. It will be very useful as far as the finance and accounting domain is concerned, whether we talk about human resource or manufacturing sector, or it can be, project management, customer recruitment management. So they can cater to all such kind of requirements, because this is a software which, can handle all these kind of domains. Now, learners, a single database may contain the data which is required by a range of business functions such as finance and accounting, supply chain management, human resource, production or operations, sales and customer service. Some examples of ERP are the SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics 365, etc. So we can see that ERP has, they work on these kind of software which we call this SAP or the Oracle or the Microsoft Dynamics. Now, each of these ERP packages, rather they are the packages, it is just not a single piece of a software, but it is a group of modules. Earlier in the accounting software, we were just discussing about 3-4 kind of modules which can just cater to the requirements of a particular organization. But here, as we mentioned, that large companies, they require a more robust, a more comprehensive, a more, efficient system which can handle so many transactions. So as we mentioned, that ERP is one of the best kind of software, and the kind of packages it involves, it does not include just one module. It has about different kind of modules which it can cater to. So all these modules, they work together in an integrated manner which helps to facilitate the movement of data between the modules. So we can see that how important ERP is when talking about large companies. Now, learners, let us move on to what are the advantages and benefits of using information technology in finance domain. Since we are talking about the BPO sector, and since our course which is BPOI 101 Introduction to Finance and Accounting BPO is all based on finance. So here we really need to see how advantageous or how beneficial it is for the IT domain. We have seen, learners, that moving from a manual paper-based process to an automated process using an IT applications has many benefits. Let us understand what are the key reasons. First of all, storage, why it is benefited. The accounting records of corporations are large, and so it is very hard to visualize that kind of data which can be stored on paper. Similarly, the records of other F&A related processes like travel and payroll, they have been converted paperless to avoid the issue of providing costly storage space in commercial office premises. So one benefit we can see is the storage. Second benefit we can talk about is the access. Using a software application, users can log in from any physical location to access the information using a network. As a result, data travels instantaneously between users compared to slow and cumbersome manner used by manual paper-based processes. So we can see that even due to accessibility, this has become very beneficial. Next is access control. Now, financial records runners, we know that they are very crucial and they are very critical business information which needs to be kept confidential in a competitive business environment. We know that we have many competitors in the business environment and we need to secure our data. We need to keep it confidential. We need to keep it secured. And in such a business environment, this is a very difficult task, because we can see there is so much of hacking going on there, cyber security is come into place, and so many other things are now the need of the hour. So when we talk about access control, this is very important that the control of such kind of data should be given to very limited people. So access controls allows the definition of who has access to what kind of data in an IT system. Users may be given permission to view a document or edit the document, set up masters, etc. So every organization, they really need to take care of what data is to be disclosed or what data can be accessible to whom and why it needs to be accessible. It is not that you can disclose all the data. So what kind of data is accessible to what kind of people, this is a very important decision for any company. Then ease of search and retrieval. Employees who are working in the process may have to access source documents or search a record very quickly to close or out a customer issue. Search of specific records is made faster in an automated process. Obviously, if you're looking at it manually, you will have to, just flip the pages and find out what kind of customer problem you are actually want to adhere to. But with this kind of an automated or this process, you can be able to search the documents very quickly. Then reporting. Any database application allows the user to pull out reports based on the nature of the data contained in it. Also, learners, in a process, it is possible and useful to track the movement of an electronic document between players in a process. We will be able to see when we are using such kind of a system, we will be able to track that a particular data from X, it has passed on to Y. Who is this person it has been passed on to? So applications allows reporting on turnaround times of different process steps, delays, etc. So with this kind of a process, it becomes very easy to see that, if a particular transaction is lying with the person X, for how many days it is lying, why he or she has not been able to, process it further. So this is a very effective thing of reporting being one of the benefits when you're using such kind of a system. Then traceability. Most applications have the feature that allows you to identify who made a change. A change can be made in the form of addition, it can be made in the form of deletion or modification in the data field and when it was done. This is critical to establish an audit trail so that in future it is easy to for audit transactions. Whenever a person makes any kind of a modification in a particular kind of a data, because we are using such kind of packages or software, it becomes very easy to trace that who has done it at what point of time. And when the audit process takes place, then it is all the more easier because we know that person X had made certain modifications at that point of time. So that person can be traced if any inquiry needs to be made. Now learners, let us have a look at the implications of IT on work culture. Now, since IT is the need of the hour and the backbone of a BPO industry, it has strongly influenced the working culture in the industry. Here we are going to discuss some of the aspects of this particular culture, and it should be very helpful if you are getting a job into the BPO market. These should help you to get adjusted in an organization quickly when you start employment. Any person who starts employment in a BPO organization, if he knows about the work culture, then it will be very easy for him to progress. Number one is a workflow application has the feature to track each unit of work. This may be tracking invoice in case of an accounts payable system or tracking a customer call in a customer service help desk. As a result, we can see that the time taken by an employee to respond and resolve to a query or a request is captured. Then process orientation. While working in a process, it is important to ensure that you are organizing an information in a very logical, in a structured way which can be easily understood. This will help you to retrieve items easily and also help others that you work with to search and retrieve and respond to your requests. So it is very essential that you follow a particular process which is required to be followed in a organization, because if you follow those particular steps, it will be very easy for you to retrieve the information, because you are going in a step by process through a very logical, through a very structured and a very methodical way. You are going through a process, so it is very much this will help you. This will help anyone who is working in the organization. Then let us know, what does absence mean? You are likely to get an email message and client calls when you are on leave, in training, or away from your desk for other reasons. What should you do in this case? Because you are already well versed with the kind of culture which is operating in the BPO industry as far as IT is concerned. In these occasions, it is important to leave an out of office message with instructions on who will be handling your responsibilities in your absence. Also, some of the people, what they do is they set their voicemail messages with personal greetings and ensure that they check it properly. So anybody can even use this kind of an option. Then the next is client systems. As a part of your work, you are likely to be working on applications that belong to your client's organization and may even be working on computer that is a part of your client's network. You need to understand the unique IT policies and procedures of your client, as they are likely to be different from those in your employer organization. Then responsiveness. Sometimes you may not be able to immediately resolve or address a request that has come from your customer. It may be because of work pressures, or perhaps you do not have all the information. So what are the ways? Either way, it is to respond or acknowledge such emails right away, or you can set an expectation of the time required by you to close the issue. Now, learners, we have been talking about IT. So let me quickly just discuss about what is information security. Working in an environment where all the information is available on IT system poses a great threat to organizations. Employees have access to large amounts of companies' critical information, and there is a risk that an employee may misuse this trust. An employee with the wrong intent may destroy the key data, or they may even leak out sensitive data to people within or outside the organization for their personal gain. So information security, we see it has been defined as the means of protecting the information and information system from an unauthorized access, use, disclosure, disruption, modification, or destruction. Information security is concerned with confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, regardless of the form of data. It can be in the form of print, or it can be form of electronic, or any other form. Thus, we see that confidentiality is a very key objective of information security. Confidentiality is the property of preventing disclosure of information to unauthorized individuals or systems. Confidentiality is necessary for maintaining the privacy of the data that belongs to the organization, its clients, its employees, and the information may be stored in IT systems or in paper form. Now, some of the information security practices in the BPOs, we have just listed them out. Electronic access control. To access an IT application, you will be given a unique ID and a user password. These are generated by entering information about the user and grant him or her certain level access. Physical access control. Different parts of the offices have restricted access limited to only those employees who are based in those bays. So this is managed through glass or wooden partitions used to cordon off areas for restricted access. Employees will have to swipe their magnet identity cards against a card reader on the door to get entry into the area. Then photographic, video and audio recording devices, they are prohibited in such places because these restrictions also extend to voice recording devices like tape recorders. Follow these instructions carefully. All these are prohibited in using. Data storage devices, again, most BPO organizations disallow employees from bringing external storage devices like pens, CDs or iPods, and the reason is that employees could potentially take out sensitive information using these devices. Non-disclosure, you should not disclose the specifics of your work to unauthorized employees and non-employees. Areas like the name of the customer and details of process or any confidential information should not be disclosed by you to any external organizations. So learners, I think so we have completed this unit 7, and we have discussed about what is the importance of IT in the BPO sector and what is the importance of security as far as the BPO sector is concerned. In case you have any queries related to this unit, you can please write to us. Our email address is geetika@ignou.ac.in. Thank you, learners. Namaskar.